everyone? Tokyo Drew 85 here, and I've been seeing all the new videos about all the Switch 2 rumors and that some developers have dev kits. I'm just gonna rant on everybody's parade here. I don't think we're gonna get a new Switch in 2024. I'm thinking more 2025 or 2026, mainly because the Switch sale numbers are still very, very strong. They're still selling systems, they're still selling games, they're holding up pretty well. And they also announced a bunch of new games, like they have Super Mario Wonder coming out, there's a remake of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon in the works, which is pretty cool. And I also found out everywhere else that's called Luigi's Mansion 2. I don't know why here they called it Dark Moon, but I thought I'd just bring it up. I thought it was interesting when I came across it. And also, what I think too is people will compare it to the Wii's success and how and when the Wii was replaced, but there was like two very different things going on with the Wii sales. Is that while the Wii sold very very well, it didn't sell games. Like the attachment for games was horrible because most of the Wii sales were just soccer moms buying it just to play Wii bowling. And also, I remember somebody buying it because they mentioned it on Dr. Oz. Like, it sold a lot of consoles, but this thing could not move any software. And a lot of companies had a lot of issues moving software on it, too. Like, they'd make these great IPs, but they wouldn't move on the Wii. So, I'm bringing it up because the Switch is selling consoles and games. Like, they just released Tears of the Kingdom, and Tears of the Kingdom has been one of the system's highest selling games. It already has a huge install base. And when I looked into the numbers, as of 2021, the end of 2021, it officially outsold the Wii. So it's in a very different circumstance right now. Also, Nintendo never sells consoles at a loss. They never have and they never will. So they're not going to release some enhanced tech where they could possibly make a little profit and not as much money. They're going to wait as long as possible. Now, when Nintendo's successful, they're not very swift at replacing their systems. Like, a lot of people don't realize when the Nintendo was out originally, they actually weren't going to bring the Super Nintendo over right away because the NES was still doing really good here while the Famicom was struggling a bit when the PC Engine came out. And mainly they released the Super Nintendo, they pushed it a little further ahead because the Genesis started taking more market share than they ever anticipated. So they pretty much forced it out the door. And to give you a little background on that too, every Nintendo system up until the Wii has sold less than its predecessor. Like the Super Nintendo sold less than Nintendo, the N64 sold less than the Super Nintendo, and the GameCube sold less than the N64. It's really the Wii that kind of broke that mold, mainly because I just feel like it caught the trends at the time. Like you had a lot of casual gamers coming into the market, and then the whole, Wii bowling, motion control things, grabbed a lot of people. And with the Wii U, I feel like mainly it had tablet control because I think they were trying to also cash in on that tablet craze for a little bit in, the 2010s, 11s, 12s when tablets were kind of a big thing, but no one was really playing games on them like that anymore. And they also pretty much called it the Wii U. They tried to make like a Wii branding thing with it because the Wii was so successful, and it just never, came off the ground. But that's a whole other topic all on its own. But with this current climate, with the console sales, the new games released, again, I'm thinking more 2025, 2026. Because Nintendo actually said themselves is they expect to get, between 7 to 10 years out of the Switch. And with those sales numbers, they're going to squeeze the life out of this thing. They are not going to let it go. If the sales would have to dip significantly for them to replace it as quick as they would. I mean, the Wii sales in 2011 were dropping off pretty significant. And again, too, they weren't selling software on the system, so they weren't making as much money. But the Switch is the perfect storm of software and console sales. Now, do I think there's any truth to the stories? Yeah, I'm sure some developers do have dev kits. I'm sure that part of it's true. But I don't think you're going to see, with all the games they announced and everything, I don't think you're going to see a new Switch in 2024. And, that's my thought on it, and I thought I would just add a little PSA as well. I know you guys talked a lot about, another rumor that was going for years, that Zelda collection that never came out over and over again. And I'm just here to say, look, if you want to play both of these games, just suck it up and buy a Wii U. All right, Nintendo's not releasing them. Suck it up, buy a Wii U. or keep waiting for that Zelda collection that's never coming out. This is Tokyo Drew 85, and I hope you guys have a good night. Like and subscribe, and thank you.